different device.
Why Lord Krishna appear? To protect and please his devotees, to do pilgrimage, to kill the demons. Why did he appear?
To kill the demon and Tipu.
To kill the demon.
Oh, to protect
Okay, here, see, there is the first reason or the main reason that he appeared is to protect and please his devotees, okay? And as I told you last time also, we had this question on the quiz, I think. The main purpose of him coming is not to kill the demons. The main purpose of him coming was to please his devotees. See, when he came, how much fashions he did with his associates. He did with Gopas, Gopis, the Rishnis, Yadus, Pandavas, so many things he did, right? And he pleased all his devotees through that act. And in that process, we as devotees, we also learn how Krishna, what does Krishna want from us? That is something we learn. And that is why he has come. And the answer is to protect and please his devotees. In the process, there are also demons who got killed. That's all. Ihan, you raised your hand. Okay, here are the answer. I mean, here are the top 5 winners: Satvik, Kumudini, Varun the Carrot, Ovi, and Ramachandra. Good job. Second question: who is Krishna's father and mother? Vasudeva and Devaki, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, both A and B. Okay, it is A and B because again, you know, Krishna was. Oh, I hear some. I don't know if you have any questions, but again, if you look at Krishna, he was born both to. I mean, in the sense, he was mother and father. He considered Vasudeva and Devaki as his parents, as he was born to them. Can you all mute?
Mataji, can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, thank you. Can you all hear me?
Yes, Mataji, we can hear you.
Okay. So Krishna, he was born in the womb of Devaki and Vasudeva, but then he was raised by Nanda Maharaj and Yashodama. So he considered both of them as their father and mother. So there is something called there is the paternal affection, and that affection is shown by Krishna to both Vasudeva and Devaki and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. He cannot leave one or the other. It is very difficult for him to do because that bondage is so great. He had all the pastimes of childhood pastimes in Nanda Maharaj and Yashodama's house, and then he was born to even Devaki and Vasudeva. So both had that relationship, and that relationship is something unique, and he belongs to both Vrishni and Yadu dynasty. That is the reason. And that's why we have both A and B. Even in Laghu Bhagavatamrita and Gopal Champu, these are books written by Goswamis. And in that book also it is stated that Krishna's father and mother, both Vasudev Devaki and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Again, that is a long story. I don't want to get into the details, but for now you should understand that it is answer C. Okay, we have Satvik, Krishna Chinta, Ovi, Slok, and Durga. Good job. Who is Lord Krishna's brother? Arjuna, Balarama, Sudama. Again, the hint is brother. You have to quickly answer the questions because Kahoot also calculates the time. Very good. 28% got it right. Yes, elder brother is Balaram. Good job. Okay, we have the same scores. Top 5 winners remain the same. Good job. In which yuga Lord Krishna appeared? Dwapar Yuga, Satya Yuga, or Treta Yuga? Okay, it is Dwapara Yuga. And then, you know, we have Lord Ram's incarnation in Treta Yuga. So that is the right answer. Dwapar Yuga, 24% got it right. Okay, we'll now answer people's questions. I know that you have something here. Varun Kasturi, what do you want? Can you unmute yourself and tell me your doubt? Varun?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes.
Yes, I have a question because I think Lord Krishna also appeared in Satyuga as an incarnation of Lord Narasimhadev. So
No, not in
didn't
not
he?
as
He
okay.
also appeared.
Here I'm talking about Lord Krishna. We are not
Oh.
talking about any other avatars. Okay?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay? Sounds good. Okay, the same set of 5. Okay, this is a wonderful question. When Mother Earth in the form of cow complained to Brahma, what did Brahma do? Brahma ignored her. Brahma with a cow and other demigods went to the milk ocean to pray to Vishnu. Brahma advised her. Wonderful. Brahma with a cow and other demigods went to the ocean to pray to Vishnu. Here I wanted to talk to you a little bit. See, the demigods and the cow, they went to Vishnu, who is the protector or the maintainer, because he is the one who can resolve their distress. And that is why the demigods, including Brahma, went to Lord Vishnu. Okay. And why did they go to Vishnu? Why was Mother Earth very much troubled? She was in distress and she was in great anxiety. Why was that? That was because, see, everybody is using the earth. Earth gives us so many resources. The food we eat, the fruits we take, the vegetables that we consume, everything who provides? Mother Earth provides. In turn, what do we do to her? We have to offer the food to the Lord and then eat the food. And that is how we show our respect to Mother Earth. This was just an example of grains, vegetables, and fruits. Likewise, the air we consume, do we want to make it polluted? No, we want to make it as much as possible. The air should be non-polluted, and for that, whatever we need to do as a citizen, we have to do. And keeping the environment clean, again, that is to protect Mother Nature. As soon as you wake up in the morning, when your foot is going to touch the ground, you pray to Mother Earth. I'm so Mother Earth, I'm going to put my foot on you. Please bear with me, and I want to be as obedient and be respectful to you as much as possible. That is the prayer you tell her. Likewise, in each and every situation, we have to make sure that we are respecting her, we are protecting her, and if we are seeing people who are not following that, as much as possible, we try to tell them, hey, see, this is not right. And if they don't listen, then that's up to them. But we as citizens, we have to do our duty and be examples and role models to others for them to follow. And again, what did Srila Prabhupada, what did he say? He said, Hare Krishna Mahamantra is the panacea cure for all the ills of the society. Because what does that Mahamantra do? It creates purification of our heart. When our heart is purified, then we become one with the will of the God. And when we become one with the will of the God, then we are obviously going to respect Mother Earth. There is no way we are not going to respect Mother Earth. So I really want you to think about this topic a little bit and maybe make some pointers and notes as to how you can protect Mother Earth and how you can help others also protect Mother Earth. And what do you do? I mean, as an ultimate solution, you have to chant Mahamantra with a lot of focus and lot of attention, okay, as much as possible. I know you're all young kids, but you can definitely do it if you try, and practice will make it happen. Okay, so that is the ultimate solution. But again, the small solutions that I told you, be it air, water, keeping the environment clean, not consuming meat. I mean, so many things that we can do to protect Mother Earth. And again, in the previous yugas, Mother Earth, she used to give so many valuable things, so many invaluable things Mother Earth used to consume and give us. But nowadays, she's not giving all that. That is because of our behavior towards Mother Earth. Good job, guys. The same set of 5. Okay, we are moving on to the next question. Who was driving the chariot of Vasudeva and Devaki? Jarasandha, Shishupal, Kamsa. Who was driving? Okay, good job. 27% got it right. Yes, it is Kamsa. I'm going to talk to you about the story of Advent of Lord Krishna after we finish all these questions. Okay, that way I'm not revealing any answers to you upfront. I want you to have your ears open so you listen to what I'm saying. All right. Good job, Satvik. You've been really consistent with your score. I also see Krishna Chinta. He's been consistent. Ovi, Slok, and Durga. Good job. 7th question. Why Kamsa wanted to kill Devaki? Because he heard the sky voice that Devaki's 8th child will kill him. Because he did not like Devaki, because Kamsa was a demon. Why did he want to kill Devaki? That is the question. Okay, good job. All of you all got it right. I'm so happy that you all know Krishna's story very well. Wonderful. Okay, here are the revised score, but still the top 5 remain the same. Okay, how many children of Devaki did Kamsa kill? You have to note how many did he kill? 8, 6 or 4? What is the answer? Okay, 28% got it right. Not bad. Yes, he killed the 6 children of Devaki. And we'll come back to the story and I'll tell you who's the 7th child and who was the 8th child. Okay, I'm sure you all know who the 8th child was, but you must know who the 7th child also is. Okay, good job. Top 5 winners remain the same. 2 more questions to go. When Lord Krishna came in the womb of Devaki, who came to pray? Demigods along with other sages, King Ugrasena, Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda. Again, he was in the womb of Devaki. Okay, 23% got it right. Yes, King Ugrasena, he's Kamsa's father, and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda, after he was born, he went there, but again, when he was in the womb of Devaki, demigods and other sages, they prayed. Okay, the same set of top 5. Last question. Lord Krishna appeared in front of Devaki with how many hands? 2, 6 or 4? Okay, 4 hands. Yes. So now we'll just talk a little bit about the advent of Lord Krishna. Okay. So we all know that after marrying Devaki, Vasudeva, he was returning home with a chariot that was driven by Kamsa. At that time, Kamsa heard a very, some voice. And in that voice, there was a warning that Devaki's 8th child would kill Kamsa. Upon hearing this, Kamsa got a lot of fear in him. I mean, when somebody hears about death, obviously there will be fear. And Kamsa, being a demon, he was ready to even kill Devaki because of his demoniac nature. And Vasudeva, he diplomatically said to Kamsa, please don't kill Devaki, because again, all of us are going to die, but I don't want her to die in your hands, because you're obviously you're going to go to hell if you're going to kill Devaki. So don't do that sin. It's not good for you. So please forbid from killing Devaki. That is what he said, Kamsa. I mean, that is what Vasudeva said to Kamsa. And then he also said, if you're not satisfied, what I can do is I can bring all my children to you, and then you can kill them if you would like. Because as you can hear that voice, the voice said the eighth child is going to kill you. So what I'll do is, as soon as the child is born, I'll come and bring it to you, and you can do whatever you want with the child. You can kill them. Like that, Vasudeva proposed. Looking at, I mean, then what happened? The first child was born. Vasudeva, he wanted to keep up his promise, and then he took the first child and went to Kamsa. Kamsa, looking at his magnanimity, oh my God, this guy, he promised and he's bringing it, bringing the child to me. Let me give it back to him. Why to kill this child? Each child is only going to kill me. There is no harm. Like that, he gave it back to Vasudeva. And then what happened is, in between, Narada came in. Narada, he had to come in and intervene in the situation and tell Kamsa that, see, a lot of demigods are going to be born in this Yadu and Vrishni dynasty. You have to be really careful. You have to be watchful. Like that, he said to Kamsa. Then Kamsa's fear, now he started to increase. And he was like, he set Vasudeva and Devaki free for a while, in the sense he just gave them a house arrest. But immediately he said, you have to be in the jail, come up and then get me all your children. And then he started to kill the children one after the other, because of this fear that Narada instilled upon him. And why did Narada come in and tell him and ask him to do all this? That is because Narada, he wanted the Lord to kind of start his pastimes as soon as possible. And out of his goodwill, he just instigated Kamsa to do this act. And then all these 6 sons were killed. Narada, he also said, Kamsa, see, Kamsa, you were actually a demon named Kalanemi in your previous birth, and you were killed by Vishnu also. So be careful about this time. I mean, be careful about being killed this time by the 8th child of Vasudeva. Like that, he told Kamsa, and Kamsa was kind of in a lot of fear because of that reason also. And what else? I mean, Kamsa, he also arrested Ugrasen and put him in the jail just so he can enjoy the kingdom all by himself. He showed a lot of demoniac nature that way. So that is something I wanted to tell you. And then this will end and conclude the Sanskrit quiz, which is in fact Krishna quiz this time. Okay, let's see who the winners are. Satvik, congratulations. Slok, 2nd place. 1st place goes to Obi. Congratulations. Awesome, guys. Durga and Krishna Chinta, runner-up. Wonderful. Awesome. Top 5 winners. Wonderful job. And I'm glad that you were able to do a great job, because all these questions, I think they were all easy. It's a question of time, how fast you completed it. And also some questions were tricky in the sense that, are we talking about avatars here? Are we talking about Krishna? Who it is? That is something we have to be watchful of. Okay. Okay, we saw the top 5 winners. Congratulations. And the 6th place goes to Ramachandra, Kumudini, Prasadam, Varun the Carrot, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, these are the top 10 winners. YRP, Srivats, Rocky, Ponnu, Mishi, Shreyan, Rupesh, Veda, Apple, Kushi, Gobinda, Shaki, Prapulla, Sridama, Adishri, Hemant, Srini, Kirtana, Kirti, Sahasra, 30. Aditya K, Gopi Place, Advika, Brew, Harshika, Srivats, Saki, Krishna, Ovi, Akshara. Good job. Any questions? We will just now go to the people who have raised their hands. Mataji, can you help me asking them to go through one by one? Hare Krishna. We have Gopal Gobinda. Can you unmute and tell me what your question is?
Can you see my score?
Okay, Gobind. What is your name? Govinda. Oh yeah, you got 80%. Two wrong. That's all. Okay, Shrinika, are you good, Gobind?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I have a question.
Yes.
Who is Ugrasena?
Ugrasena is Kamsa's father.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Shrinika. Okay, is that all? Do we have any more questions? Are we good? Okay, I don't see any more raised hands. Can we move on to the next quiz? Yes? Okay, let's go on to the Srimad Bhagavatam quiz. Are you all ready? Please be ready. I'm going to give you the pin here. Okay, we have the pin number 163706. 163706. Okay, if you're having trouble, just restart your computer and then or restart your mobile device and then try to get in, okay? Okay, we have 26 players, 27 players so far. Okay, the pin number is 163706. I'll just give it one more minute and then we will get started. $28. Okay, let's give it one more minute and then we will get started. Okay, just got a message for somebody is saying somebody, they need some time for a minute. I'll just wait. Just so that they can also join. One 163706. Okay. Okay. So we will get started now, okay? Who is the father of Vyasadeva? We all know who Vyasadeva is, but who is his father? Brahma, Parasara Muni, Narada. Okay, it is Parasar Muni. That is the right answer. So Vedavyas, we all know who he is, and I'm not going to tell who is because we are going to have a question on him as well. And his dad's name is Parashar Muni. All right, we have Satvik, Aditya, Krishna Chinta, Ovi, and Aishi Prasadam. IC Prasadam. What did Vyasadeva write? Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharat, Srimad Bhagavatam, both A and B, none of the above. Yes, it is. I mean, Vedavyas, if you look at him, he is the author of Mahabharat, not Ramayana, I'm sorry, Mahabharat, Bhagavad Gita, and Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam, why did he write? Because Narada Muni, he said, you did so much, of writings on so many different things, but the essence of all scriptures, the devotional aspect is missing in these things that you have written. And when Vyasadeva heard this, he felt so good because he was missing something in his writing. He wrote Mahabharat, Bhagavad Gita, but still he didn't have that satisfaction. And that satisfaction came to him when he completed writing Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the essence of all scriptures. Okay, next question. We have Satvik, Aditya, Krishna Chinta, IC Prasadam, and Slok. Who is the mother of Lord Ram? Kaikeyi, Kaushalya, Sumitra. It is Kausalya, right? I mean, we all know Kaikeyi is the mother of Bharata. And then Sumitra, we know she's the mother of Lakshmana. So, okay, we have Sridham who has moved up. Good job, Sridham. What weapon Lord Rama carries? Bow and arrow, mace, chakra, or none of the above? Yes, it is bow and arrow. Remember, I mean, Lakshmana, Rama, they all used to have bow and arrow. And then they used to carry that, and then they used to fight with the demons that they would come across. And this is the weapon Lord Rama used in Treta Yuga. Okay, we have the same scores, except Slok, he has moved up, and the others remain the same. Fifth question. Why did Lord Ram go to the forest? What was the reason? For hunting, to do meditation, because of Kaikeyi's desire. Yes, 100%. Good job. So you all know Ramayana. That's why you got 100% right. Yes, it is because of Kaikeyi's desire. We all know that Kaikeyi had a boon from Dasharath, and then she requested Dasharath when Mantra came and told her about Ram's the Pattabhishek, that is, he's going to be crowned as a king. Mantra, I mean, kind of poisoned Kaikeyi. She was initially very happy. I mean, when she heard the news about Rama's coronation, she was very happy. She felt so happy for her son. And Mantra, she put, I mean, sometimes you have some people who are coming from somewhere and they kind of poison you. So whether you are going to listen to them or not is something that is up to you, because you are given the free will. Even if somebody tries to poison you, will you get poisoned, or will you be going with what they say? That is something we have to ask ourselves. For us not to get poisoned, we have to be very strong in our sadhana. Because if you look at Kali Yuga, there are so many people who can show us so many different things that are bad things, that are bad. You don't want to be involved in those, but they would tempt you so much. They would just tell you to be involved in these things. Like that, they will come and kind of force upon you, or even sometimes make you feel bad that you're not enjoying those things. So, but we as devotees, we should be very careful whom we are associating with, whom we are talking to, and whom we are making friendships with. And not only that, if we are very strong in our scriptural knowledge, then all these things, even if they are bad, they can't trouble us. But we have to be really very careful and take precautions. Likewise, Kaikeyi, she was instigated by Mantra to fall into prey for her bad, evil thoughts. And then she asked Dasarath, can we have Bharat as a king instead of Ram? Because I would want my son to be coronated instead of Ram, because that way, I mean, this all at the end of the day boils down to, okay, that way we will get the position, fame, we will become popular, like that, right? I mean, Kaikeyi internally she had that feeling, and that is because of Mantra, and that's why she just brought this up to Dasharath Maharaj. Okay, we have Sridham who has moved up. Other than that, everybody else remains the same. Who is the wife of Lord Balaram? Revati, Lakshmi, Anuradha. Revati. Yes, 25% got it right. That's the right answer. She is the wife of Lord Balaram. I think everybody is remaining the same scores. Good job. Top 5 winners. You're retaining your places. Who is the mother and father of Lord Balaram? Vasudev and Devaki, Vasudev and Rohini, Nanda and Yashoda. Be careful. Okay, 19% got it right. As I told you before, so Devaki, Vasudev and Rohini is Balaram's parents. And again, we all know that Krishna was born as the 8th child to Vasudev and Devaki. Hence, it's not the right answer. And we also know that Nanda Maharaj and Yashodama, they are the ones who brought up Krishna. And again, Rohini was sent to be with Nanda Maharaj and Yashodama after her 7th month. I mean, she was just asked to go and be asked. I mean, Vasudeva asked Rohini to be with them, because that way she's not bothered by Kamsa, because Kamsa was trying to kill everybody, every child, right? And again, Vasudeva and Devaki's child only he was specifically looking to kill. But Vasudeva, he was afraid that he might just kill his other wife's child also, and that is why Rohini was asked to go to Nanda Maharaj and Yashodama. Okay, these are the top 5 winners. They remain the same. Good job, guys. 8th question. Who transferred Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini? Yogamaya, Mahamaya, or the wind god? Who is that? Yes, it is Yogamaya. That Yogamaya was the one who transferred Balaram from the womb of Devaki to the womb of Rohini. He was born as he was as the 7th child. Balaram was there in the womb of Devaki, and he was transferred to the womb of Rohini. And what happened? Yogamaya Yogamaya was the one who was transferring and doing this. And what is Yogamaya? What is Mahamaya? Yogamaya is the potency of the Lord that brings you closer to Krishna. And in this Yogamaya thing, once you get that, once you become closer to Krishna, what will happen? You will then think that you are the servant of the Lord, servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. And what is Mahamaya? Mahamaya is the potency that takes you far away from the Lord. And what will Mahamaya do? It will take you far away. So you will think you're not the servant of the Lord, but you will think you are the proprietor of everything, of the material world. You will think you are the owner, but you don't own anything. Everything belongs to Krishna. Krishna is the proprietor. And that's the feeling you will have when you think Yogamaya. When you think you are the servant of the servant of the servant. But when you think I am the proprietor, that is because of Mahamaya. It will drag you far away from Krishna. It will not make you think you are eternally the servant of Krishna. It will make you think you are the proprietor. And that is the difference between Yogamaya and Mahamaya in terms of the potency. Okay, the same scores. 9th question. What is the color of Lord Krishna? Okay, white, yellow, bluish like rain cloud. That is correct. Bluish like rain cloud. 27% got it right. We all seen the pictures of Krishna, right? Krishna is bluish like a rain cloud. Same score, so that's why I didn't go through it. What color dhoti Krishna wears? White, yellow, blue. This was something that was taught in the class. Yes, it is yellow. That's right. 27 got it right. Just one person just missed it, but you can learn now that he is wearing yellow dhoti. Srivats has stopped. Good job, Srivats. 11th question. What musical instrument Krishna likes? Flute, harmonium, veena. We all know. Krishna in his threefold bending form, what instrument he plays or likes? Yes, it is flute. So in Vrindavan pastimes, if you look at Krishna, so he, in order to please the Vrajavasis and remind them of them, he would play the flute. And whenever he starts to play, that is, he plays the flute with his threefold bending form under a Kadamba tree in the forest of Vrindavan. He puts his flute on his soft red lips and blows it into his holes and gives a divine melody. At that time, what happens? The Yamuna river, it will stop flowing, because when it flows, it makes the sound, right? That sound will hinder with the flute sound. So in order to hear the flute sound, the Yamuna river will stop flowing. And then the cows, they will stop chewing the grass in their mouths. They don't want to make that noise. And again, what all the calves which will be drinking the milk from the cows, they will stop doing that also in order to hear the transcendental sound of the flute. This is how attractive the flute was. And this is described very beautifully in the Vrindavan pastimes. There is one specific chapter that talks just about the flute and the glories of the flute. The peacocks, the parrots, all the forest animals, they stop doing their activities and they listen with full attention to Krishna's flute. And it melts the heart of the gopis. And they go into a transcendental bliss when they start hearing Krishna's flute sound. That is how glorious the flute was. And he likes it so much. Here are the scores. The top 5 winners remain the same. We have 4 more questions to go. Who did Lord Krishna marry with? Radha, Rukmani, Lalita. Rukmani. See, I know that 5 people have responded Radha. He did not marry Radha. Radha was Krishna's girlfriend. And again, he married Rukmani. We all know about Rukmani. Rukmani, we all know that she heard so much about Krishna. Just through hearing process, she fell in love with Krishna and she wanted to marry only Krishna. And because of that reason, she happened to send a letter to a Brahmana to ask him to send it to Krishna. And in that letter, she expressed her feelings to Krishna, and Krishna immediately reciprocated that message, and he happened to marry Rukmani. So that's a big story as such in Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10. If you go in, there is another pastime with Rukmani Devi and how he married Rukmani Devi, what all obstacles Krishna had to face. That is something, and then how did he end up marrying Rukmani and what is the story? I just told you a summary, but if you want more details, you can definitely go in and look into it. But again, the word marry is the key here. He married Rukmani. Okay, Radhama, she's the lover of Lord Krishna, and they have a different mellow. Okay, this mellow is different from this mellow because they are married, and here she's not married. So the mellow is different there. The rasa is different. Okay, the same set of 5, top 5. Good job. When did Lord Buddha appear? We all know about Buddha. When did he appear? In the beginning of Kali Yuga, during Dwapar Yuga, during Satya Yuga. Yes, he appeared in the beginning of Kali Yuga. So I'll tell you about Lord Buddha as we complete our next question, because that also talks about Lord Buddha. Aditya has come up. Srivats has come up. Sridham has come up too. Good job, Aditya and Satvik, Krishna Chinta, and the others too. What did Lord Buddha preach? Bhagavata Dharma, non-violence, or service to people? Lord Buddha, he preached non-violence. So the time, what happened was, he was born in Gaya as the son of Anjana, and again, he is the supreme personality of Godhead. He himself appeared as Lord Buddha because that time there was a lot of atheists who were just killing animals in the name of Vedas. The Vedas in the Karma Kanda section, they talk about animal killing. And actually in the Vedas, the animal killing, the animals get elevated and they go to the heavenly planets. But the atheist people, they started abusing this Vedas and say in the name of Vedas, they started to kill a lot of animals. And because of that reason, when the animals were brutally being killed, Lord had to descend and he had to preach to the world that there is need for non-violence and there is a need where we should not be violent with the animals or anything in terms, violent to animals or any creatures for that matter. And that is when the Buddhist philosophy was preached, and there was a lot of followers for Buddha who preached non-violence. And in the process, the Vedas also, I mean, Buddha said you don't have to do, I mean, he doesn't believe in Vedas. So the Vedas were lost in that period when Buddha appeared, and then Shankaracharya had to come in and say Vedas do exist, and here is what the Vedas had to offer. And like that, there's one philosophy after the other. But Buddha's main philosophy was non-violence, to preach non-violence. Okay, we have Satvik and Krishna Chinta who have stopped. We have two more questions. When will Lord Kali appear? Kalki appear. Kalki, not Kali, Kalki. At the end of Kali Yuga, when there will be flooding, when there will be a tornado. Yes, at the end of Kali Yuga. So as the 10,000 year period of the golden age, that is the Kali Yuga, comes to close, what will happen? Lower modes of material nature will become so strong, that is tamasic people will grow and grow and grow, and people will start losing interest in spiritual topics, and they will become godless also. That time Lord Kalki will appear in the home of an eminent Brahmana of Sambala village, the great soul of Vishnu Yashya. That is what Srimad Bhagavatam 12th canto 2nd verse 12th canto 2nd chapter 18th verse says. So if you look into that verse, it will say that Lord Kalki will appear, and that too it will also specifically talk about he will appear in the as a Brahmana of Shambhala village. And if you go to 2.7.38, there is also another quote that says that at the end of Kali Yuga, when there is no when there exists no topics on the subject of God, even at the residences of the so-called saints, respectable gentlemen of the three higher varnas, and when the power of government is transferred to the hands of ministers born of Shudra class, when everything is becoming, when everything goes down and down, when you become so less spiritual, then Kalki will appear. That is what the second canto also says. So you can go through these verses and get an idea of who Lord Kalki is and when he is going to appear. As I told you, he will appear at the end of the 10,000 years, and that time people will be godless. There will be low interest in the spiritual topics, and people will be really devoid of scriptural knowledge. When there is no knowledge, there is no chanting, all of them will be demoniac, all of them will be tamasic, and that time Lord has to come and reinstate yada yada hi dharmasya. We know that, right? So he will come to re-establish dharma. Satvik, Krishna. Okay, the scores remain the same. Last question for today. Who wrote Dashavatar? Vishnu, Lord Shiva, Jaydev Goswami. Okay, 25% got it right. It is Jaydev Goswami. Correct answer. And with that, we conclude our session for Srimad Bhagavatam today. The top 3 winners: Aditya, 3rd place. Good job. 2nd place, Krishna Chinta. Ho! 1st place goes to Satvik. Congratulations. Top 3 winners: Srivats and Sridham, runner-up. Good job. Awesome, guys. Awesome. Thank you so much for playing with me today. We look at the full report and understand where the other players are. But again,